What's up, everybody? This is Jarrett from Bowling for Soup.
Hey, this is Samuel Zell. How are you guys doing?
Hi, this is Frank Turner.
And I am Mega Ran.
And you are lucky enough to be listening to Upside Down Shark Radio.
Yeah, be ups and down. Don't worry about it.
Hello and welcome to episode 96 of Upside Down Shark Radio, the alternative pop culture podcast right here at youtube.com/Upside Down Shark and UpsideDownShark.com. We got a stacked show for you today. We're talking about The Mandalorian. We're talking about Frozen 2. We're talking about Doctor Who. We're talking about everything and more. That's right. I am joined by two very handsome hosts today. First of all, Neale Upton.
Hello. You won't ever see my face.
You just got to take my word for it that he's very handsome. And first of all, Matt Dobbie.
No, you said
Hi.
me first.
You're both first. That was the joke. That's the joke.
Oh.
But yes, we talk on this podcast about all manner of pop culture things. Basically, whatever's been up in the news this Hizay. We talk about it, what interests us, why it's cool, why it's not maybe so cool. And we do other things, like we have cartoons made by Neale on our website. We have a zine made by everyone at Upside Down Shark, which you can find on our website. And if you find us in person, we will give you a physical copy. I got some back there, but I can't be bothered to get up. And we also have a blog where we review things, we chat about things. We got a good article about the 10-year anniversary of Them Crooked Vultures' one and only album, and that was written by one Matthew Dobbie.
One and done. Not the article that...
Yeah, one and done. I'm not doing anymore. That was it.
That's his shot, his load. Tell us in 3 sentences or less why people should listen to Them Crooked Vultures.
I'll give you 3 sentences of 2 words each, okay?
Go on.
Josh Homme, Dave Grohl, good album.
There you go. Well thought out.
Can I do it as well?
Go on.
Very good, very.
Well, that was just 3 words. Oh, you were just giving lots of full stops, were you?
Oh, you said... did you say 3 words?
You said sentences.
Oh.
I was giving you more to play around with, but you know what? You worked with what you had, and I appreciate it.
Shall I say very good, very...
You can still put another good on the end.
Very good, very good. I like that album.
There you go. Well, I'd be surprised if that didn't end up on the cover one day.
Can you hear Dexter barking?
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Only very slightly. Get him on. Get him on the show.
I love Dexter. I'm going to give Dexter a big hug.
Okay.
God, I love that.
He'll enjoy that.
But speaking of things that I do love, The Mandalorian is the new Disney Plus Star Wars TV show that is taking the internet by storm. And by the internet, I mean America, because no one else can legally watch it at the moment.
And the Netherlands.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
That's
somewhere
ridiculous.
Beginning with N.
Them cool Dutch guys always getting the cool stuff first. Has anyone except for me watched it so far?
Well, no, Tom. I live in the UK.
Yes.
I think Dexter
you
may have. I think Dexter may have seen The Mandalorian.
He's getting closer to my door.
It's because he knows we're talking about Baby Yoda, and he's going to want some of that Baby Yoda. I have watched it through means that we will not discuss
Hey,
on
Tom.
the show.
What do you think of The Mandalorian?
Oh my god, it's my favorite TV show of all time, and I'm only 2 episodes into it.
Oh, wow.
It's so good, because I'll tell you why it's so good. It captures what made Star Wars so good back in the day without any of sort of the fluff that has sort of, like made it more controversial over the past couple of decades. It's concise. Every episode is about 30 minutes long. It's got a cool Western vibe, much like kind of, I suppose, the earlier films had, especially when they're like on Tatooine and other sort of desert planets. It's got strong cast. It's got obviously Pedro Pascal as the lead, but although he is more of like, the blank canvas that other characters kind of play off of. You got Nick Nolte as an Ugnaught, which means that he would have had to sit through literally minutes of makeup to look convincingly like an Ugnaught. You've got I mean, am I allowed to make burns on Nick Nolte? He's never going to hear this.
Which one is Nick Nolte?
Yeah, let me just Google him.
He looks like a Nugnaught.
I don't know what that is.
Look up his character in The Mandalorian. God, I'm really dealing with.
Oh, it's him.
Yeah, he looks a bit like a discount Ron Perlman.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
That's going to be the title of this episode. Yeah, it's got Carl Weathers, Werner Herzog, Taika Waititi.
Werner Herzog?
Yeah, he's in it.
I remember, yeah, he's never seen a Star Wars movie. It's great. Werner Herzog is great. Like...
Werner Herzog in a recent interview said that the Baby Yoda made him cry. Which is glorious. It's got really cool stories. Nothing, like no high concept or whatever like that. Just really cool, tight stories set in the Star Wars universe. You don't need to have watched any other Star Wars to really get it, because there's, or at least so far in the episodes that I've watched, it's brand new characters. And the one thing that's sort of taken the internet by storm and is really sort of capturing the meme cycle as well as everything else.
Let me guess. It is the Mandalorian himself, Nick Nolte.
Absolutely, Nick Nolte as the Mandalorian in The Mandalorian. No, it's Baby Yoda, of course, because what else is on the internet at the moment except for the Baby Yoda memes? It is, I would say, the cutest inanimate object since Ispo in Gremlins.
Oh, you've clearly not seen my oven.
Your what?
Tom, I'd just like to point out, I have seen his oven. His oven is not that cute.
I am not going in your oven.
Why would anyone go in my oven? What?
Get in my oven. Oh dear. So I trust you've both seen the design and you've seen Baby Yoda, even if you haven't watched the show.
Yeah, it looks like Yoda, but like small.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not going to refer to what you've been referring to him as, Dobbie.
Oh, you mean Baby Green?
Good censorship.
Yeah, somehow just managed to cut out at the right second there.
I kind of want to edit in the F word back in. No, he is called Baby Yoda, even though everyone acknowledges he's not Yoda. But what else are you going to call a nameless species other than the one thing we know to call him? You're not going to call him Baby Yaddle, who was the other one that ended up on the council in Phantom Menace.
Baby Chewie.
Baby Frodo. That's what we should call him. But what
Baby One Ring to rule them all.
Baby Citizen Kane.
I've got one. Baby. Lil Green.
Oh,
there it is. There it is.
Oh, he's gone and done it. He's only gone and done it.
I didn't have anything to say. I snapped. I'm sorry.
You are an agent of chaos, Neale, and now you've given me a lot more editing to do.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I won't do it again.
It's okay. It's okay. Baby Shark Tale.
Why are we still doing this?
The point I'm getting to is what I like about this. It's not necessarily tied to the show itself, but more sort of the ancillary stuff that goes around it. Is why there are no Baby Yoda merchandise or plushies or anything like that already out, and it's down to sort of the whole sort of clandestine, keeping him under wraps nature of the show, that they didn't want it to come out in spoilers, so they specifically requested that no merchandise be made of Baby Yoda ahead of the release, because obviously once the designs and the product lists are all listed out and everything like that, it just spreads like wildfire. So to keep it under wraps, they were like, nope, we're going to let the show come out and then we're going to release the merchandise. And I really like that, because obviously they probably lost out on a lot of money doing it that way. Not that Disney.
I don't think they will. I think that that's the only move they could have made, because if they've released it before, everyone would be like, why the hell?
Why is it you?
Why on earth? I'm tired, okay? My face doesn't show on the screen. I had a peanut butter and banana sandwich, and you guys laughed at me. And you said you were going to throw up in my mouth next time you see me.
Yeah? What of it?
Disney, what I reckon, they were probably like, if anyone had seen that.
Speaking of throwing up in the mouth.
they see Yoda and they go, "Why the hell is Yoda in the Mandalorian? That's not right. He can't be in it. Why is there a tiny baby Yoda?" I think there would have been more, not backlash, but people would have been more angry at the fact that Yoda was in this show because they didn't have the knowledge that it's not Yoda.
I suppose, and I suppose, what do you call it? Because you got to put the name of whatever it is, but we don't know that yet. At least in sort of the so far in the series. One of the theories, again, like how much do you guys care about spoilers for this show so far?
Oh, I don't care at all.
Like, I might watch it eventually, but it takes me so long to get around to TV anyway that I don't know.
It's not really a spoiler because it's not been confirmed. It's basically just fan theory. So if you're all right with that, I will indulge me. So basically, Werner Herzog hires the Mandalorian to go and find this baby Yoda, whatever you want to call him, and the one of Werner Herzog's assistants has a uniform on, and someone has sort of analyzed the scene, and they reckon that one of the insignias on his arm is of the Camino cloning facility, and so they reckon that either baby Yoda is either a clone of Yoda or is being captured for the purpose of cloning this thing, because obviously I think the assumption is it's a Yoda species is like supremely force sensitive. So that seems to be the theory, because they say in the show that the baby Yoda is 50 years old, which would mean that in canon he would have been alive at the same time as Yoda. So it could very well be that this is a clone of Yoda, which would be interesting. But that's sort of the prevailing fan theory at the moment, is that that's why he's target number one for Werner Herzog and his amazing German voice.
When's it set?
I was literally about to ask that.
Yeah.
This is set, I think it's a handful of years after episode 6. So
okay, right.
This is before any of the sequel trilogy, but like the Empire is very much fallen. There are stormtroopers in it, but they're they're like fractious little groups of like really dirty uniformed stormtroopers who are just sort of lost without anything proper to do. So
that's interesting.
So yeah, so it'd be cool if this is a little clone Yoda, because that leads me to believe that there might be more, which I want that scene where there's just someone getting cuddled by loads of baby Yodas.
When I said that's interesting, I apologise because it sounded really disingenuous, but I was literally trying to think of I was trying to wrap my head around where that puts everything.
So this is definitely after Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi, blown up the second Death Star. But then how did the First Order come about? Because I thought they were just the Empire again,
all of the troopers in the First Order are baby Yodas grown up.
There you go. Do you really want to know? Because I've read the book about this, and I can indulge you.
Oh no, that's not, because that's spoiler talk, and someone else watching this, however unfortunate it may be,
who might read Star Wars Bloodline, this really obscure canon book.
It might not be after the Mandalorian.
I mean, it's nothing to do with the Mandalorian. It's very interesting though. So I can indulge you at another point, but. Needless to say, the Empire falls, and eventually the First Order rises out of a different group. So
okay,
it is more of an imitation than, say, a revival.
When was that book written then? Was that a newer one?
Yeah, it's new canon. It's like 2016, 2017.
Okay, after The Force Awakens came out, I assume.
Yeah. It plays on. So basically, sort of in a nutshell, the New Republic is kind of not working because after being sort of in the strict rule of an empire where it's just basically fascism, there's too much sort of too many mouths in the New Republic. So there's all these no one can agree, everyone's arguing all the time, and there's no one sort of really strong leader. So a lot of people, it's kind of it kind of skips a generation, and people forget about how awful the empire is, and a lot of people are starting to sort of want it back. They sort of see that it as, or in hindsight, is better than the what the rebels try to do. So there's these sort of super right wing groups that come out of it and basically break off and form the First Order. And that's why in Force Awakens, it's not like First Order have complete control of the galaxy. They are kind of just a little group out in the reaches of space, and they start just attacking everyone else.
Just like the news today
Yes.
with the elections.
Make sure you vote or register to vote.
I slipped that
Who
into
for?
an interview.
Doesn't matter who it's for, as long as it's not the Tories.
Oh, don't tell Craig. Craig's a Tory. Craig's a Tory.
Oh, dearie me. And speaking of massive fascist organisations, Frozen
Craig.
2 Disney have released Frozen 2, and as expected, it's got a lot of money behind it.
Yeah,
Assets won't be frozen anytime soon.
of course they won't. It's Disney. What a stupid thing to say. Do we know what the budget for Frozen 2 was?
A
5.
lot.
Whoa, is that all? I think I made a lot of money back off that.
Let me check. Budget.
5.
33 million.
Is that all?
It has
Are you
now.
kidding me?
It has made on its opening weekend
More than 10 times the amount, right?
$350 million,
What the hell?
which has put Disney, as for the total year across all of their movies and releases, at $3 billion profit. And that means that they are on track to have their most financially successful year ever. I think the record at the moment is 3.9 billion. Or 3.09 billion, and obviously Star Wars is to come out, and I can guarantee you it's going to make more than $90 million. So
Who put this company in control of everything?
well, just I mean, for two countries, the UK and US, who have like meant to have all these massive anti-monopoly rules and legislation, Disney have quite the monopoly on their hands at the moment.
Yeah. Not to mention their version of Monopoly.
Edna Krabappel,
I meant the board game Monopoly.
but also Edna Krabappel is now also owned by Disney because the Simpsons are
You're absolutely right.
who are also owned by Disney. So, yeah. It's anyway.
Hey, can we talk about The Simpsons on Disney Plus, whatever it's called?
Go on.
How did they mess that up? We haven't talked about this, right? How do you mess that up? They messed it up. I can't believe they messed it up. They put all of the old episodes on widescreen, so it cuts out some of the image because there's letterboxes.
Right.
Some of the track, and it's not like a massive deal, but you miss out on some of the jokes.
Yeah, there's some sight gags which are like rely on you seeing the whole frame, and so there's so many of these little bits which are just completely lost now that it's all stretched out and cropped.
It's not a massive deal, but it kind of it does detract from some of the jokes apparently. And they've said that they're going to change it at some point, aren't they?
It's strange that Disney Plus has so many different I mean, obviously it's brand new, but for a company like Disney, and like streaming services are not new, so there should have been a template they could have followed. But there's been so many teething problems, and I think obviously the release schedule doesn't endear it to anyone over here who really wants it. And then like to do stupid stuff like this, which is entirely avoidable, and I can't imagine someone didn't bring it up at some point. It's just weird, man.
Yeah, I'm not likely to get Disney Plus at any point ever, really. But like,
You think?
I'd hardly ever. The only streaming service that I'm subscribed to is Prime Video, just because I have Prime, and then I mooch off my brother's Netflix account.
Well,
that's
I was going to say, speaking of Netflix, I watched Annihilation over the weekend. That's really
Finally.
good.
Oh, I heard that in the best film of last year in the Sharkies, and I don't think anyone else had seen it at that point.
I've seen it now. I really liked it.
I really
it
liked
creeped
that
me
one.
out at the end.
That was a weird, strange, crazy ending.
Hell yeah.
But I really enjoyed that one as well. Have you seen that, Dobbie?
No.
No.
Would recommend.
Yeah, I like it. It's was it by the guy that directed Ex Machina?
Yes, Alex Garland.
That's him. Yeah, I can remember his name.
Yes, he's
it's
got a
kind
good track
of-
record.
It's kind of in the same sort of area of creepiness as that, I guess. That's
Yeah.
kind of like a sort of not deranged film, but along those lines, I suppose.
Yeah, it gets very sort of trippy and abstract, and makes you think. Definitely makes you think.
Have you seen Ex Machina, Dobbie?
No.
Okay, well there we go. There we are.
But one thing we know Dobbie has seen is a little production by the British Broadcasting Corporation. Doctor
My
Who.
son is also
Dobby likes
named
Doctor
Bort.
Who.
Doctor Who?
Doctor.
Dobby likes Doctor Who. That's where we got to. Dobby, what's happening in the world of Who?
Well, until very recently, it had been a very quiet year for Doctor Who. We had a New Year's Day special at the start of the year, but then it's been an off year in what, to me personally, and to a lot of other Doctor Who fans, is it's a little bit. It's not unacceptable, but it's like, come on, I don't like it when a show just goes quiet.
Was that last series really last year then?
It was at the end of 2018. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like at the start of 2019. I didn't think it had been that long. Goodness.
So we got that, and then we got the New Year's Day special in place of what would usually be the Christmas special, and then it's been pretty much radio silence throughout the year until this past week, where we learnt a couple of guest stars from the first episode, and finally got a trailer for the new series, which is supposedly launching on New Year's Day. Now, I mean, you guys know, Doctor Who's my favourite TV show, even with a very mixed feeling about the last series from myself personally. This new trailer, I mean, it was nice to get it finally. It's nice to get a bit of information because it feels like a lot of hype for the show has died down. It looks interesting to me. It looks a lot more action-based than the last series, which I'm not sure was something the last series was actually missing. It looks really nice, production quality-wise. Whether it's going to have better writing than last series did. I mean, the showrunner is Chris Chibnall, and honestly, the 6 episodes he had a hand in last series were some of the weakest Doctor Who that has ever happened.
Classic Chris.
Classic Chris Chibnall. It's funny, I've just finished watching Torchwood, and he had a lot of... I think he was the showrunner on series 2 of that, and that was actually really good. Alongside, he did Broadchurch as well, which was, for the most part, pretty good.
How long ago was Torchwood? Was that like 10, 15 years ago now?
The series 1 and 2, series 1 was 2006, and then series 2 was 2007. It might have been early 2008. So that was over 10 years ago now.
Blimey.
I don't know. I mean, he's writing less from this series. He's brought back writers from some of my favourite episodes of the last series. I've got a good feeling about it. I'm a bit peed off that because it's apparently starting on New Year's Day, we're not getting a Christmas special as such, and we're not getting a New Year's special because it's just the start of a new series. But I'm hopeful. I've got a good feeling about Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. I think she's about to truly come into her own. As for the rest of the show, let's wait and see.
I've watched some of the last series, not a lot, maybe like a 2.5 episodes, I think it probably was.
Yeah.
I think the issue that I had with it was there's too many cooks. Spoiled broth. There's loads of people in it.
There's too many companions. Yeah. I mean, I like Bradley Walsh's Graham is a really good companion, and I mean his grandson Ryan adds a nice dynamic to it. But then you've got Yaz, who is a police officer on Earth, but after the first episode, you get no mention of this. And honestly, she doesn't really do anything for most of the series. And while it's like saying you need to get rid of one of the companions, it's like, well, which one do you get rid of then? Because you can either get rid of the girl, and then it's like, well, you've got rid of a female, or you can get rid of Ryan, but then you've got rid of a grandson dynamic, or you can get rid of Graham, who is the good companion of the three, and it's like, don't really know where to go with it.
Bradley Walsh has already got a show, though. He's got The Chase. Give the other guy some airtime.
There's one at the moment that's on, because I assume The Chase doesn't have any new episodes. There's one called Cash Trap that he hosts.
I saw an ad for that, yeah.
Yeah, it's very... I don't know what the word is to describe it. It's not good.
Boring.
Yeah.
I watched the Hit List the other day.
I like the Hit List a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it in concept, but
that's the thing to me. I think I just like being able to say I know this song within 2 seconds of hearing.
Have you seen it, Tom? The Hit List on BBC One, I think it is.
I think this is the one where they play a clip of a song and they've got to guess it as fast as they can.
Yeah. But it's like in concept, it's good on paper, and then they actually do it, and it's about 90% padding and then 10% actual content of the game show.
That's the problem with it, right? The contestants are often the sort of contestants who haven't really got a personality, and the presenters are
Also
Marvin and Rochelle Humes.
They also have no personality, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so boring. Like, we watched it last week, just out of morbid curiosity, because it was the first episode of the new series or something.
Yeah, last week, yeah.
And then we were like, well, we're never watching that again. And then last Saturday rolled around this week, and my brother was around, and my mum was like, Ryan, you've got to see how bad this is. So we ended up watching it again, and it is awful. It's the worst 45 minutes of my week.
I just enjoy. I like a quiz. Neale can attest. I like a quiz, and I like a music quiz even more because I'm good at them. So I just enjoy being able to flaunt that. I think.
Yeah. When we went to the pub, was it last month?
Yeah.
And it was, I didn't even want to do the pub quiz, and then it was just you and me out of 4 of us doing it, wasn't it?
Basically, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I had a good time doing that. The music bit was fun on that. And that was, yeah. Do not recommend the hit list. Don't know why we're paying for it with the license fee. Like, you know, Doctor Who. I don't really watch Doctor Who, I don't really care, but, like, that's fine, whatever. You know, that's at least semi-decent drama. I'm not happy to pay for the hit list. I want that reducted off my license fee. I probably don't even pay myself. But
Could you imagine if you were able to choose what TV shows your license fee goes towards?
yeah, take my 4 pence off of the
How
hit
quickly
list.
certain shows would just be cancelled, and like suddenly
Goodbye to
gets
one
a
show.
massive budget.
God, yeah, but in the one show. But that'd be good because then we get the shows that we want. It's voted for by the people.
Yeah. And what would be fairer than that?
Exactly. Well, that's enough about British daytime TV. Shows.
Just on the subject of British TV, just Taskmaster moved to Channel 4 this week, and
Is it already started, or?
no, it won't
Okay.
start until late next year, unfortunately. But they've They've ordered 6 series over 3 years. So that's a good thing. That means we're getting at
2 a
least
year.
2 a year starting from late next year, which will take us through to a third Champion of Champions special, and then we only need 10 more series so we can have a Champion of Champions special.
Cool.
I like Taskmaster a lot. Doctor Who and Taskmaster are my 2 favourite shows. I've gotten to talk about both of them this week. It's good.
And there's a good article about Taskmaster at UpsideDownShark.com.
Wow,
There is. I wrote that and all. 2 and done.
And all.
Two and done, Dobbie.
Can I talk about what I watched, or have we got something else?
No, you go talk about what you watched.
I
Talk
watched
about it.
the end of the beeping world, because I'm not allowed to say that word. End of the effing world. Can I say that, or does that?
Yeah,
go
that's
weird?
fine.
Yeah,
That's
that's
fine. Season 2 had just come out, and I was like, I need something to watch. I was blasted my way through series 1. I was super impressed. So I even went on all 4 to watch season 2. It's not on Netflix yet. And
Yeah, sorry, I'll let you finish first. Yeah.
season 2, it's not quite as good as season 1, but that's such a good show. I recommend it to the highest degree. There you go.
Yeah, just on the subject of all 4, what a horrible website.
I don't use the website, to be fair. I've used the app on the PS4, but
Well, if you go through the website, I don't know if it's the same on the.
actually
on
the PS4 app is pretty bad too.
But it's just like it's the amount of ads you have to sit through. It's constant. And if you have to stop watching something and come back to it another time, if you skip through where there would be ads, you have to watch those ads before you can continue skipping. So I watched an hour-long program the other day, and I had to come back to the last part. So I had to sit through about 10 minutes worth of adverts before I could get to
God.
watch all of 3 minutes of show.
I think it's the same with Crunchyroll as well. They do the same thing, which is
Did
pretty
Crunchyroll
bad.
use ads?
Yeah.
didn't
Well,
know
if because there's a free version and a subscription version. So. But yeah,
That times.
that's it. End of the effing world. Recommend it. I think both of you would actually really enjoy that one.
It's on my list. I'm probably going to get to it before Christmas.
I think that's the first time I've ever been able to say I think both of you will like that.
Interesting.
Everything that I say it normally ends with and I can't recommend it to anyone.
I think you got recommended Nirvana the band the show, and
that's
one
true,
of my
yeah.
favourite things of the year.
That was a good show. I thought
That is a
we'd
good
have some news on season 3 by now, but that's not happened. So
I mean, I think we're still. If you type in Nirvana the band the show season 3 into YouTube, I still think it's our video that comes up first.
we've made it, boys.
Keep watching that, and we might get some news soon.
There we go.
It won't be in the video, but keep watching it.
We'll do a redux. We'll email them again and tell them why Trey Parker and Matt Stone are our favourite Canadian duo.
Craig.
But I'll tell you what is pretty good, very good, one might say, is our track of the week, which is The Entire City with Autumn Ritual. Formed from the embers of several leading Liverpool bands, The Entire City are an alt-rock duo comprising of guitarist and singer Jamie Jenkins and drummer Jams Ward. Based in Liverpool, the band formed in early 2017 and have practice rooms all over the shop, apparently. This is a weird ad read. Taking their name from a series of paintings by surrealist Max Ernst, the pair spent 12 months working intensively to create a sound that marries experimentation with accessibility. But did they marry it right? You'll have to listen to find out. This is The Entire City with Autumn Ritual. Check it out!
September comes and I am awake. I want to feel the rain on my face. I caught a glimpse of a side of you I've never seen. Dead leaves falling. I just disappear. I'm a silhouette of an outliner
this is Frank Turner, and you are lucky enough to be listening to Upside Down Shark Radio.
And that was The Entire City with Autumn Ritual. Make sure to check them out in the description below. We'll put all the links there and send them some UDS love. Thank you very much for letting us play Autumn Ritual.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice. And I thought we'd end the show because, as you can probably tell, this is a kind of a loosey-goosey episode. We've been real busy interviewing various different bands. Our interview with False Advertising is up now. We've got a couple more coming very soon. So we haven't really had a lot of time to prepare for today, as it were. So I thought we'd end by just looking at what we're playing, what we've been playing this week, video games we've been enjoying, and just have a chinwag about that.
I'll start because I've found myself in this little predicament recently. I think last time I was on this podcast, I mentioned I've been playing the Arkham games. I've since finished those, and I played Tyler Tasmanian Tiger 3 Night of the Quinken.
Is that which really what it's called?
Yeah, I didn't enjoy that very much, honestly. It was the first time I'd ever played it. And
is that the 2D one?
No, that's Ty 4. Tyler Tasmanian Tiger 3 was originally only released in Australia and parts of America, I think. So yeah, it's been re-released on Steam, and that's the first I've played it. It wasn't that great, honestly.
Compared to number 2?
Definitely not compared to number 2. Number 2 is amazing. Number 2, one of the best games of all time.
Oh. Uh-oh.
And since then, it's been like, well, the thing is, Christmas is coming up. I've got no new games I'm wanting to go out of my way to play. So I'm just sort of like, I don't know what I want to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can recommend Star Wars Fallen Order.
But I don't care about Star Wars, Tom. And I don't want to pay for Star Wars just as much. I don't want to pay 50 quid for a game I'm not going to care about.
I'm already paying 20 quid. I think it might be more than 20 quid to go see it in Rise of Skywalker in IMAX. And I'm just kind of like, at this point.
Oh man, it's the best though. Star Wars is the best.
I'm a big Star Wars fan as well. I think Tom might be a bigger Star Wars fan than me. I haven't really since Force Awakens came out. I was just kind of like, yeah, you know what, this is good. But if this is gonna be like this every year, then I think I'm gonna get sick of it quick. And I did. And I think a lot of people did. But I suppose like the games are in a different criteria or there's some word like that I can't bother to think of right now because I'm tired. They do different things. I liked Knights of the Old Republic years ago. I never finished it, and I really should. I like the.
You get that on your phone now.
Really?
Yeah, it's on like iOS and Android.
Oh, God. I like the TIE Fighter and X-Wing games, like for PC, like the DOS ones. There's lots of good Star Wars games, but like the Force Awakens, what was the Fallen Order? I just kind of like. I know this is like trying to coincide with Star Wars hype for the new movie, and I'm just not buying it. In both senses of that word.
Well, we'll agree to disagree.
That's fine. I'm sure it is a good game.
I mean, I would say I would rather EA make games like this than just churn out Battlefronts that are just cash grabbing.
Yes, I'm glad they gave it to Respawn. Titanfall 2, both really good games. Apex Legends, also a pretty good game if a played out genre. Yeah, Respawn have a good track record.
Well, when it drops in price, I definitely recommend playing it just to give it a go. Just give it a go.
I think that's it. Yeah, maybe when it comes down to like,
it would be my game of the year. Yes.
Oh,
spoilers.
Maybe like I think that's a £15-20 game for me.
You might be waiting a while then.
Yeah. Till the next Star Wars film comes out, right?
Hell yeah! Then they put the price back up. Neale, what have you been playing?
I'm kind of in the same situation as Dobbie. Like I've been playing Death Stranding, and I got about 40 hours in, and I was having a really good time. But I was fully aware that I was just sort of diddling about in it, and I wasn't doing the story. And I was like, I really need to push through the story. And then every time I tried to do it, I got myself caught up not doing the story again. But I've been having a really good time with it.
Did you feel stranded?
I don't know if that would be the word. I felt like death. Thanks, Tom.
I like that. I enjoyed that.
But yeah, I'm definitely gonna try and finish that before like the New Year's around. I did buy Katamari Damacy on the Switch, which went down to like £7 on the eShop. And I was like, I was going to buy this ages ago when it was like £15, which is a completely reasonable price for that game. And I played about an hour of that, and that's still really fun for like a game that's nearly 20 years old. But yeah, other than that, I've sort of been diddling around. I don't really know what to play. Smash Brothers.
Well, Smash Bros has been voted at the
Game Awards, wasn't it?
Yeah. Is it just called the Video Game Awards? I can't even remember.
Just called the Game Awards.
Yeah, they've put that. I think it's that Control, Death Stranding. I can't remember what else.
I can't remember the rest now.
The Outer Worlds was in there as well. And I think a lot of people said that Star Wars might have got in there had it not been like after the cut off of when the nominations were submitted. Yeah,
well, there was lots of people saying actually, well, it came out on the day that they were doing the cutoff, so it should have been allowed. But I don't know. I don't know how, how true that is and stuff.
I've heard a lot of good things about Control, but again, I don't know, just something about it just doesn't grab me too much.
I don't think they marketed it at all. So no one, a lot of people on there are saying, Control, what the hell is Control? And I definitely heard of it, but I don't really know anything about what it looks like or what it plays like. I know it's got like a really heavy focus on the physics engine, right?
Yeah.
But that's all I know about it.
I know it's meant to be so pretty and like graphically intense that like loads of machines crapping out trying to run it, but it looks good. But again, I don't think the problem is there's just so much saturation at the moment. I just don't think I'll ever get around to playing it.
Yeah, same.
Between Death Stranding and Fallen Order, like that's probably me well into June 2020. So, and then Cyberpunk coming out. I know Neil's really excited for Cyberpunk. So, yeah.
I just realised how much of a multi-level joke that is.
Yep. Always thinking 3 steps behind. And I suppose just wrapping up video game talk, Half-Life Alyx has been announced.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone. A Half-Life VR game specifically for... It's not the Vive, it's the thing that's coming after the Vive.
Index, I think it's called.
That's it, yes. It's the first Half-Life game since Episode 2, which I believe was...
About 2008?
2007, I wanted to say.
Yeah, it might have been 2007. With the orange box, whenever that came out.
Well over 10 years, regardless. It's got people talking about Half-Life again, which is good, because I would say Half-Life 2 and the subsequent sequels, like episodic sequels thing, is probably in my top 5 games of all time. Hell yeah.
That's the orange box.
Go make sure your camera's on.
Sorry, I have. I'm already there.
Sweet. I really like it. I like the story and the fact that it's minimal but engaging. I like the physics, as you said. It's just a really, really fun game from start to finish. It never lets up. And if this even inspires the smallest hope that we can get a fully fledged sequel to Half-Life 2, then I'm all for it, because Alyx is actually set between 1 and 2, I believe. It sort of follows the story of Alex Vance.
Between episodes 1 and 2, or between Half-Life 1 and 2?
Between Half-Life 1 and 2.
Okay.
And sort of follows Alex while Gordon Freeman is stuck in G-Man's weird sort of, purgatory realm.
Yeah.
So basically in the trailer, it looks like it sort of follows her and her dad trying to take on the Combine. And it looks good. You get gravity gloves instead of the gravity gun to coincide with the VR controls.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not going to fork out for an Index because they're going to be hella expensive, and my laptop's not going to support it. But if I ever find a place that has a demo of it, I definitely want to give it a go.
Yeah, I'm not sold on VR at the minute, but I saw that trailer and I was like, oh, you know what? This looks pretty cool. And then I heard Reese Darby's voice, and I was like, you know what? I kind of really want this.
See, I would love it if VR became like just the arcade of the 21st century, where you just have like VR centers where they have like proper rigs that you can just play VR for half an hour or so. But I don't know.
I went to Blue Water Shopping Centre the other day. For those of you that don't know, that's the biggest. I think it's the biggest shopping centre in the UK. Big stuff, and they have a VR, not store, but like centre there now.
Interesting.
I walked past it, and there was people actually waiting to go inside. I was like, really? Okay. That's the cynic in me done today.
Well, if it's the cyberpunk future we get, then I'm all for it.
I like. When was the last time you went to a proper arcade? Or like I say, a proper arcade, but like an arcade, I guess.
Last one I went to was Namco Funscape in London.
Yeah.
That was a good arcade.
Does that have? I don't think it does, but does it have the Star Wars Battle Pod?
No, but I have been in one of those somewhere.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's kind of like 9-year-old me would have been wetting my pants about that.
It's good to know. Dobbie, have you been to an arcade anytime recently?
There was one attached to a bowling alley that we went to probably a couple months ago.
What did we play there? We did the basketball. The basketball games were pretty fun.
Yeah. I think that was it. I think we only did basketball.
What was that?
Should we go for bowling?
Yeah, let's go bowling.
Let's all go bowling.
The bowling at Namco Funscape, all the pins are attached to strings.
Yeah, it's not fun, is it?
I don't think they would have updated it, but I haven't been in a long while now. There's the arcade in Soho called Las Vegas. That's really good. That's got like a bunch of like fighting games and stuff, and a bunch of Japanese rhythm games. Pretty cool place. We're not sponsored, but that's an ad.
And if you'd like to sponsor us, hit us up at upsidedownshotradio@gmail.com. Tommy's gonna eat.
I promise I won't say the F word.
There you have it. And on that note, this has been episode 96 of Upside Down Shark Radio. Thank you very much for listening. Make sure to leave a like and share and subscribe and whatever the hip kids are doing at the moment. Really helps the exposure of the show. Check us out on all the audio platforms, YouTube. Check out our website and all that good stuff. And make sure to tune in for some exciting interviews, reviews, and more videos coming very soon. We got a packed end of the year, and you want to be on the ground floor for it because it's going to be a good time. A good time for all.
We're going to have a New Year's party.
Are we?
Oh, now we are.
Okay, cool. We'll play on that after this.
Oh, God. Tommy, what are you doing? What is this?
Oh, no.
Tom, end the show. End the show.
Without further ado, I've been Tom.
I've been Dobbie.
I've been Neale. Oh, God. Ah.
Oh, this has been episode 96 of Upside Down Shark Radio. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Ah.
Okay.